So you have a little baby.
I do.
Just one, right?
Just one.
Are you going crazy?
I am.
Yeah.
And I'm tired as hell.
Yeah. You look good, though. You don't look tired.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. I'm kind of going crazy, too. You know, it's one of those things. I feel like motherhood is one of those things that people lie. People don't talk about the truth. The honest
Nobody
truth.
tells you.
Nobody tells you.
Like, why y'all ain't... I called my friends and was like, girl, why y'all ain't say nothing?
Why you just acting like it's all good? Because then when you don't feel like it's all good, you think something's wrong with you.
Yeah.
Or you think that you're crazy. I have had the thought so many times, like, is this what mama's been doing all these years? Is this what y'all have been doing?
All this time.
How? I specifically remember my son might have been like a month old, and I was just riding in the car thinking about the show 16 and Pregnant, thinking like, how the hell
Those babies.
How the hell were you 16 years old doing this, figuring this out? Because I was old, okay, geriatric. I was 35 when I had my son, right?
Me too. I was 34.
The most prepared that I could have possibly been, financially, mentally, married, had a partner, all of the things that you think that you need to become a mother. And I still don't, not even didn't. I still every day am just like, you still here. You know, like, you still here. I'm responsible for you. What are you going to eat today? You know, like all of the things every single day.
And it all falls back really on the mama. At the end of the day.
Two married women.
Look.
Telling y'all the truth, okay? If ain't nobody else gonna tell y'all the truth.
Because the girls
it's some daddies in the room that's like rolling their eyes, but listen, y'all cannot argue with us, okay? Because at the end of the day, this my baby. You know, this is my baby. And there's so many things. And I have an amazing husband. Let me just say that because he watched every episode. Baby, I love you. But listen, there are just some things that men, I don't want to say can't do, because there are single fathers out there that just got to figure it out. But unless you are literally a single father, there are just some things. There's things that happen every single day that my husband has no idea, like how this is getting done. I mean, I figure it out, you know? And when we're home together and he like, you know, is feeding him and he like, baby, help me grab this. I'm like, how you think I was doing that when you was at work? How do you think that I get the kid out the car? That I get, you know, like, how do you think?
The show goes on, honey.
The show goes on. One day, he gonna be mad at me. Don't be mad. I love you, baby. But one day he was about to take him to the grocery store, and I saw him. Don't be mad at me, okay? I saw him packing up the stroller, and I'm like, you know, there's grocery carts at the grocery. Like, you're gonna put the baby in the cart. What are you doing with that stroller? You know, it's just so many things that it's just like you could tell your ass don't be taking this baby nowhere because you're not even prepared. He will rather not go. Like, I don't need whatever I needed. I don't need it bad enough to take this child anywhere.
I'm like, what do you think I do? I take him everywhere. What do you mean? It's like a big thing. Like, oh, well, don't worry about it then. I just won't
get it. I'll just figure out another way. And it's just like, pack them up and take them. Like, what is happening? So shout out to all the mothers out there, especially the single mothers.
Yes.
Because, baby, I had to like strap the car seat in. I don't do that. That's one thing my husband does. He like, whatever you got to do, he does that. And I came out one day and it wasn't done and he was already at work. And I almost took him back in the house. I was almost like, you gonna miss school today because I don't do this. And I called him and he was walking me, you know, we on FaceTime, he walking me through what to do. And then after I figured it out, he's like, can you imagine being a single mother? I'm like, hell no.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot, and we ain't got the answer. So I'm not even about to try to give y'all no advice, because if you're not a mom yet, though, I'm sorry if I killed your dreams. But I'm not really sorry.
They need to know, because the girls are not telling them.
Not telling you.
Y'all are not being honest. We need a mom support group. It's not. It's just. It is what it is, girl. It's hard. And I was one of those ones where I was like, I'm going to have a doula. I had a doula. I'm going to do natural. I'm going to be in the water. you know.
Did you get in the water?
Girl, I got on the table and got a C-section, okay?
So I still got PTSD. I haven't told my story, but I definitely had a doula. I definitely had a midwife. I definitely had the tub blown up in the room, and I did not get my ass in that tub. I ended up on the table as well. That's a whole nother conversation. Again, that requires a support group, a therapist, some wine once I can drink again, like all of the things, because there are so many things that goes into bringing these babies into the world that I feel like nobody talks about. You know, people talk about morning sickness. You know, they talk about such surface level temporary things, that trivial things, that the real stuff nobody talks about. So we're gonna have to talk about it.
Sitting there looking like,
what the hell? And again, there's no turning back. You know, like,
we here now.
We here now. The baby's coming.
And I'm like, oh, I wanted to be here so bad. You just think it's going to be like, I got my cute little baby, you know. And it took us a while to get pregnant. We had to go through, like, fertility treatments.
Really?
Yeah.
Can we talk about that?
Yeah.
I have questions.
Yeah, we did IVF.
Wow. Were you scared you was going to have, like, quadruplets? Because that's a thing, right? Multiples?
That's a thing. Sometimes, I guess if you kind of do it like incorrectly, or you're having sex when you're doing the injections, because you're not supposed to be doing any of that. But I actually, like, before I had this one, I was
the mom. You wanted to?
Yeah, I wanted twins.
I still want twins.
I don't now.
No. You're not about to laugh. I has twins. You see him shaking his head. Yeah.
I just take one at a time. God, give me one more. I still got one, too, but I have a low egg reserve.
Okay, wait. Pause. So tell us about the process, because, again, this is one of those things that I feel like so many things you don't know until you have to do it yourself. So what made you do it? First, like, what made you say, okay, was it just that y'all were trying and you weren't getting pregnant, or, like, what was the pre-IVF?
Well, we tried, and then I did get pregnant, but then it ended up being in my tube. Ectopic.
Okay.
So I had to get one of my tubes removed.
Okay,
and
I'm sorry.
Thank you. And so after that, I went to a fertility doctor to try to see, like, what was going on, if I could really, you know, because you can still get pregnant with one tube, but then going through that process, I found out I had a low egg reserve.
How do you find that out? Like, they do a procedure?
Yeah, they do a bunch of tests. So when you first go to the fertility doctor, they test everything. They test the one tube you have. They test your egg reserve. They test everything. And so when I went through that, so like, it's a chance, but it's not a good chance. So we went full steam with the IVF.
And that's 1,000 needles.
At one point, I think I was doing like maybe 6 shots a day, because you're doing like 2 or 3 in the morning, 3 in the evening, and then you do that for like maybe 2 weeks to get as many eggs as possible. Then you do the surgery to take the eggs out and put it with the sperm to make the embryo.
So what does the man have to do in this? Ejaculate in a cup or something?
Yeah. And then after you finish that cycle, now that's not it. Once you're ready to put the embryo in, if you get embryos. Because sometimes you don't even get embryos. There's women that have been going through this for years that I've met that still don't have a baby. You know what I mean? So it's like, so we went through putting one in, and we actually, the first embryo didn't stick. We lost that one. That was devastating after all of that. And then the second part of it, after you do the egg retrieval, you have to start the shots again. Why? Just to put the embryo in. So, it's a lot. It's a lot.
Does it hurt?
Girl, when I tell you, I was like, you get to the point where it's like, at first like, oh yeah, we're going to record this, da-da-da. And then you like, you're putting it in the wrong spot.
So he was doing it to you?
Yeah, he did all my shots.
Oh my God.
I was like, why did you put it there? Right? It just drives you crazy. And then you go through all of that, and then you don't get a baby.
Hoping. You're just hoping.
It's on a hope and a prayer. And then you don't get the baby. And so you go through this whole mental breakdown.
Yes, I can imagine.
And then it's like, dang, okay, we got one more shot. Because we only had 2 embryos. I wasn't one of the girls that had a bunch of, you know. So then we kind of geared up and did it again. And now we have our sweet little baby. So I will say it's worth it in the end. It absolutely is worth it.
You got a healthy little baby.
I got a healthy baby boy.
So, but you have one more, like, in the cooler?
No.
I thought you had one more embryo.
No, the first one, it didn't stick.
So you would have to do this all over again?
Girl. I would have to do the whole process.
Are you going to do it all over again?
I don't know. I'm praying to God. I'm like, God, go ahead and get this tube. Because God can still do it. I still got one good tube.
Yes.
It's a low, come on, God, come through for your girl. Because, and people think it's the money aspect of it because it is expensive, but it's really the mental.
Yeah, and I can imagine.
It's mentally taxing on you, on him. And when I see women doing it by themselves, I'm like, girl, how you doing it by yourself?
Hell no. Because then you go raise a baby by yourself. We ain't gonna talk about that.
It's a lot.
People gonna eat me up in the comments. But I have so many thoughts around women who think like I could just have a baby because it is so hard. Not even that it's hard. That's selfish because that baby, that baby needs more than just you. But we ain't gonna get into it. Don't comment about that. What I just said. Just keep it moving. But wow, I didn't even see where this interview went. I didn't even have that on my list of questions because I had no idea. But I'm glad that you shared that.
No.
And
I always want to share because I feel like when I was going through it, it's hard to find people that look like you that are really kind of sharing, you know?
Yeah,
because the girls just want to suffer in silence.
Or they just want to show up with a baby and you don't know that there was a struggle behind it. So then if you struggle, you think something's just wrong with me, which is why it's so important to have these conversations.